Hi, I'm Patty with Studio R12 Stencils, and today I'm going to show you how to crackle with DecoArt weathered wood. All right, guys, let's get started. So we have a shiplap pumpkin, which means that it has an indent to make it look like shiplap or like boards that are joined together. And this is a product that you can get on StudioR12.com. And I'm going to, I painted it black, which is number 28 in our color chip chart. And I'm going to use a 220 sandpaper. I'm going to sand it down just to get it smooth. What's funny about making it smooth is I'm actually going to make it really rough in the process, but I want to have a good level edge when I'm doing the next step. Not too much sanding, super lightweight. Brush off your dust. Okay, now we're going to take DecoArt's weathered wood. I am super comfortable with DecoArt's weathered wood. It is a chemical-based reaction medium, which means that when you put the weathered wood down and it dries, you can pick that back up a year from now and put paint over it, and the two chemicals will react with each other, and then you will get the crackle effect. Some crackles are time-based, and so if you don't put the crack or the top coat of paint on it in a timely fashion, you will lose that window of opportunity. This has a really long window of opportunity. So I've got a nice brand new bottle here. Pour some of this out. And then I'm going to use a polyfoam brush. This has got a really nice dense hold to it. It's not floppy at all. Like you can get a little bit of bend, but it really pushes the medium. Weathered wood needs a really stiff brush to apply it because it likes to kind of pull up together. Sometimes I use weathered wood and sometimes I just do a little bit here and there. In this case, I'm doing an all-over crackle effect. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start streaking this, and I'm really gonna push to drag it down and up. Really pull it around. I'm really spreading it out thin. The top coat is going to be where we are going to need to have so much paint if we want thick cracks. Just really, it has a tendency to pull itself back up, almost like elastic. So we'll get here and here. All right, once you have your crackle medium applied, make sure that you don't have any pull marks. Just kind of smooth it out just a little bit. And I think that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and get my stem. Okay, put my brush in water, wait for it to dry. All right, now we've got our crackle medium dry, and now it is time to use our khaki tan color. This is DecoArt Khaki Tan. And on our sheet, the closest color that I have is a number 82, and it's pretty darn close. I think that an 82 would work really well. So what we do is we use Sherwin-Williams in bulk, and we use DecoArt when we're using our mediums. If you're going to use a DecoArt medium, you want to use a corresponding paint. If I want this to crackle this, I need to use their chemical paints together. So that is very important. The Sherwin-Williams paint tends to be a little bit heavy, and so it tends to not maybe want to always crackle. So we're going to open this up. We're going to put a pile of paint on here because you got to use it thick. I like big, fat cracks, and I don't like them to be like skimpy. We're going to use a 1-inch oval glaze, and we're going to use the brush dry, and we're going to start at the top, and I'm going to wrestle with these sleeves. I always pick the wrong day to wear bell sleeves. All right, and I'm just going to kind of start near the top, and I'm going to lay the paint on. Notice my brush is going to be this way, and I'm not going to overstroke back over the crackle. I'm just going to put it down in a nice even coat. If I overstroke it, it's going to be like quick and get out. Nice and thick. I'm scooping. Look at how much paint there is. Lay it down. The paint will level quite a bit, actually. I've been shocked by how much the paint will level. You don't want it to be intentionally clumpy. Ooh, I found a goober. If there are areas that don't crackle the same, do not worry about that. Scoopy scoop. Try not to let it glom over the edges. And then when we're looking now, you notice that my board is no longer flat. I think this is it's like a springboard. The more moisture you have on your board, the more it's going to pull the board up, and then as it dries, it's going to level out. When you get finished with your project, you can go ahead and varnish the back side of it or paint something else on the back side if you want to flip it around if it's not a pumpkin. And then it will stay more level. Right now, I'm not worried about that, and I know it will flatten out. If you can look right here, you can see that it is already crackling very nicely. I'm going to bring this up here. I'm extending this up to the area where I'm going to put a band because I want to have this lighter color up in both areas, and it's just as easy just to put it all there at one time. I'm not going to worry about the crack right now because I can go back and touch that up when I'm done. If I get in there, good. If I don't, fine. Super, super, super thick paint. Can say that a few more times. Doesn't matter as much up here because I'm just using the color because I'm going to crackle over this color. So I'm doing like a double crackle. If you miss some and you don't want to go back because pulling will start happening, then just leave it alone and you can dry brush over the top of it. If I need to touch it, I can just tap at it. Don't brush it because it will pull away. Okay, I'm gonna put my brush in the water. And with these Taklon brushes, you really do want to go ahead and rinse them out. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm hitting the brush. You can watch our how to clean your brushes video. We'll put a card up above. But I'm pushing on my brush like this. With these fine bristles, I never do this because you will wreck your brush. So I do this on the bottom, so you'll always see my hand is kind of sideways just a little bit, and I'm reaching and stabbing at the side of the brush. And just get that rinsed out, and then you can take that to your sink and get it washed. So now if you want to take a look down here, you can see how much is already crackling. It is doing exactly what we want. We do have a nice bow down here. So what we're gonna do is leave this overnight, come back to it tomorrow morning, and we'll finish the project. All right, guys, this turned out so amazing. The crackle is so nice and gnarly looking. If you wanna see how we get from this project to this part, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so that you get notified when we have future videos.